This release brings rebuilt color system, native dark mode, and CSS Grid. The entire color system is rebuilt around OKLCH with relative color syntax. What that means in practice is that every color is generated from a single origin value. Change the origin value and all shades get changed. All the buttons, all the cards, all the form fields, everything just follows. And because this is OKLCH color space, the shades are perceptually uniform. They actually look evenly distributed, which is not the case with other color spaces. Now, the framework ships with a minimal setup, just a primary scale, but adding more is trivial. I will just duplicate the primary color by going to my CSS and looking for primary. And right here, I can see the list of my primary colors from primary original all the way to color base. I will copy this. Now I will copy here this primary color and I will find replace the secondary. I can copy it back into my editor just after the primary and close. Next, in my variables, I'll go back, find the secondary origin and change it to something else more. This section and this section. Now I will create the secondary class and secondary outline button to these. Now let's add new variables to this class. I'll take the dark for the text, light for the background, and kind of middle for the border. Now my secondary color works just the same like the primary does. So the color system handles light and dark mode natively, but let me show you what that looks like on the actual page. This is responding to the operating system preferences or the browser preferences. If I change to light mode, everything updates accordingly. Many sites want a toggle so users can choose what to see. Back in CSS code, at the end, you have the dark mode colors. And I'll just add the theme dark class to the root where all these variables are added. First, I've made a button, added two SVGs inside. Then I asked AI to write a simple script for me, and I added this little code element inside with the JavaScript. And now, if you go to the front, you can choose what version you want to see on the website. I will share this code in the description below. This shop layout already uses CSS Grid, but let me show you how the grid controls actually work from scratch. I've got a container here with a few cards inside. Right now there is no layout set, they're just stacking. I'll set the display to grid and type something like 1 FR, 1 FR, 1 FR, 1 FR. Or, in a more elegant way, 4 1 FR units. I get 4 equal columns. And I need some gap. I'll use a variable, grid gap. Fixed columns work, but it breaks on smaller screens. Let me make it responsive without using a single media query. Instead of 4, auto fit. Instead of 1 FR, minmax. In minmax function, first provide the minimum value, like this, and maximum, like that. And the gap, like any other field, supports clamp, so the gap can be responsive as well and change according to the screen size. So far, the grid is placing everything automatically, but you can take control of where things go and how big they are. I will tell this card to span 2 columns now. I'll go to grid child and type span 2, literally. The card just adapts to the space it is given. It doesn't use anything fancy, it's a normal Flexbox functionality. This one will span 2 rows. I'll go to rows and write span 2. 3 columns. Let me switch to something simpler so you can see the rest of the grid controls more clearly. These are just numbered blocks, different sizes, different colors, so it's easy to track what is happening. I can change align items to start, center, end, and I can override individually. I can go to grid child and say align start or these two. Align center for that one. Further down the page, I have another grid set up. It uses numbered items and they span different number of columns. Here we can use autoflow control. By default, autoflow is set to row, which means the items go from left to right and then into another row. You can also change this and say column, in which case they will go from up to down and then into new column. If I choose row dense, the bottom 2 items will fill the available gap and make the layout look a little bit better. Now we can use order to change how the items are arranged manually. So I'll switch back to row, the default, and then I'm gonna choose this item in the grid child to order and just write something like and just like that, visual order changes, HTML stays untouched. And here is one more thing worth showing. Everything I've been doing through these visual controls, it's all standard CSS underneath. Let me open the code view. Same properties, grid, template columns, gap, align items. Builderius doesn't abstract any of these away or generate its own syntax. So if you rather type this instead of using the UI controls, you can. You can do it like this. Both ways work, same result. So that is the release. OKLCH color system that generates full scales from a single value, native dark and light mode support built into the framework, and CSS Grid with a full set of controls, from basic layouts to explicit placements to autoflow. All this is available now. Check the changelog for full details, and if you have any questions, the community group is best place to ask.